Okay, so this video lecture is about making the Flutter app to have a responsive design. And what that means is when this app runs on, let's say, an iPhone or an Android phone or a tablet or an iPad or even website, and the screen is oriented either portrait or landscape or um, in a larger screen like on a laptop or desktop, or maybe running the browser on a iPad or tablet, that you want the screen to possibly change its orientation, and you want to possibly move things around depending on the size of the screen or the orientation of the screen. So this is if you I built a very simple sample app here that I put as a demo, and there's really just one widget that has multiple cards, and it has also a bottom navigation. And when depending on the size of the screen, so maybe a good view of this is that when you run the app in a browser, and let's say that this web browser is running on a tablet, so you're letting the user open the website um, when it is running in the Chrome browser, for example. So you can use the Chrome browser, and you can change different different type of device simulation. So here it's saying, let's say I want to run it on a iPhone, let's see, iPhone 14. And so it's going to change it's going to use a hamburger menu. It's going to orient all the cards vertically like this. But let's say that we um, change the screens, like we're running the browser on a larger screen, let's say on an iPad Pro. So now it's going to say, okay, I've got a much bigger screen, and I've gotten rid of the hamburger menu and now using a bottom navigation bar, and I've got three columns of cards versus just one. So let's say that we're running it on a smaller tablet, let's say an iPad mini. So it's going to say, okay, my screen is not that big, so I'm going to still, I'm not going to use three columns of card, but two columns, and I'm going to keep the bottom navigation to move around from different buttons or different screens based on the bottom navigation. And so you have this concept of tablet, mobile, or desktop. So if I go back to a small screen, like on a Samsung, it's going to change the orientation. It's going to put the hamburger menu. It's one card, one column of cards, and no bottom navigation. Now, if I then run this app on the iPhone, or a native app on iPhone or Android. Now, if I change the orientation of this device, so now I'm running it so that the screen is in landscape mode versus portrait. You can see that I gotten rid of the hamburger menu, and then the navigation buttons are on the left. And then everything is stacked in one column. Um, and You can do this also on the Android, and you can also do this on a real, let's say, iPad native app or a native Android tablet. So the key concepts and the key code that's in here
Please subscribe to this channel and like this video to support this kind of work.
is that you want to be able to decide whether you're going to show. So here's the app bar code. Sorry, that's the underlying code. So you can say, okay, is it a mobile or is it a landscape? And if you look at how these are defined, so it says, is it mobile? It's going to say our layout type is here, and it's a layout code. And it's saying, okay, based on the various screen sizes, um, if the screen size is less than a certain size, let's say less than uh, the width is less than 600 pixels, then we must most likely are running it on a mobile device. Or if the device width is less than, let's say, a tablet, let's say 1040, 1024, then it most likely is running it on a tablet. And then if it's still bigger than that, then most likely it's on a desktop or laptop. And you can see that when you do this, this is mostly for when you are running running the app in browser mode, and depending on the different size of the screen, it's going to decide that you are most likely on one of these three types of devices. And then here you can say, am I running on a mobile device? First, we check whether we're not running as a website. If it's not, then we just return false. Otherwise, we check whether we are running on Android or iOS. Then, based on those types of checks, then we decide, okay, am I going to show the navigation rail? And if I do, am I going to display the drawer? So here, if it's going to only display the drawer only if we're in portrait mode and we are on a mobile device. And then, so there's all these different kind of checks we do. And then we can then decide how we want to be able to show the content. So some of this content is actually coming from a real server. So like, for example, this is the real current weather. Um, and then these are the real current standings of the NFL teams. Um, so you can look at this sample code of how some of this data is coming from a live server. Some of these are static, for example, the picture of the Earth, or some of these other things here are all static data. But these multiple cards here are here primarily to show you that based on an app that's got multiple cards, you may want to you may want to reorient the number of columns of cards you want to show. So if I show it on a larger screen, let's say a Surface Pro 7. So this is kind of like on a tablet. And then if I show it this is in portrait mode. And if I show it in a tablet mode, this is how the web browser would be seen on a device like this. So you can use Chrome and the various tools within Chrome. So you get to this by going to opening the option here, and then you say more tools, and you say developer tools here, and that's how you open up this. Okay, so the sample is here in the sample for the source code is in the description. And if you have any questions about this code, just shoot me a comment or question, and I'll be happy to answer them.